and say hello and listen in wonder to the Craig and Tizz show.
We made it!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! It's the Craig and Tizz show once again. I am Craig, and that is Tizz. No, wait.
I am Tizz, and that is my wonderful assistant, Craig, up on top here in the screen. Episode 5.
5 alive, baby.
5 alive. Yep. No disassemble.
No disassembled.
No disassemble.
By the end of this, we will have done 10 hours worth of proper, actual full shows.
That is insane. You know that?
I was surprised when I just said that.
Yeah, that means that people lost 10 hours of their lives listening to us. That's crazy. I'm sorry, everybody. Let's apologize.
You know what's weirder? One of those
What's
people
that?
is you.
Well, look, I'm retired, right? What do I got to do, right? It's this or take a nap, man. So it's kind of, yeah, you know. I can take a nap after this, actually, to be fair.
This is just about that much better than taking a nap, is it?
Well, 50-50, you know.
I like the fact that when I do that, I like pinch a little piece of green.
Yeah. Oh, you can. Look at that. You and the special effects, man.
I know. It's just, high tech bits, pinches of green here. Anyway.
Yes. Carry on, my friend.
Just to start, as we mean to go on.
Already? The show's 2 minutes old.
I think that was pretty much the start of a tangent. What else are we doing in today's show other than going on a tangent? I hear them scream. Can you hear them screams?
I can hear them scream like I thought it was feedback, but I'm good.
This week we're going to be talking about going solo versus teaming up and teamwork. Craig, most certainly. A whole team to himself, but still a solo artist. Few people that are most likely to join us. I'm very interested in some of their thoughts. I want Spike Direction back. That's who I want back today. I'm gonna go hassle him in a minute and drag him back in. Stuff like the pros and cons of not just being solo versus working with bandmates and other musical artists, but the ideas of working with managers and designers and other people as well. Plus what it's like to collaborate with someone creatively, including guest features, co-writing, because Craig has also featured on a Grave Huffer track, nonetheless.
I have been, yes.
So
from Stingray.
From the side of the featuree or the featurer, as it were, and clashing visions. If someone's got an idea and you've asked them to, this is quite a big one in the electronica realm. Actually, you'll ask a vocalist, "Can you do something to this beat that I've made?" And you're really happy with the beat, and then they think about something that you're not so happy about, and you have to very politely decline their
yeah, exactly. Yeah, their idea.
Even worse if you've paid people.
Get money in there. Yeah,
we're also gonna have some music. What music? Who have we got music from this week, Craigie?
Today we have tunes by Blair Sparrow, Brother Dynamite, Just Alice, Slow Cooked Goose, Hybrid Kid, Cracks in the Shell, and Rhino Proof.
That's a good selection already.
Yeah, it's a little esoteric this week. I kind of mixed it up a little bit.
Plus, we've got the Geek Out, we've got What's for Dinner, and we've got Show and Tell.
Yep, that's it. That's pretty much the structure as she sits so far.
Yeah, and all of those things will happen at some point during this show. We're not telling you where, so you can get excited about it and stuff. We don't have no idea.
As soon as we find out, we'll let you guys be the second to know. Oh man. Okay, do we start off with what's new with you, or Where do you want to go?
Well, we could do what's there's not really much new with me there. Well, there is a little bit. ALC will be live in the studio as of the end of July, so
There
that's
you go.
exciting. So she'll be physically here to poke and prod me like she used to. So that's a pretty good thing.
That's good news.
A really boring thing. I've now got a lunchbox that cooks, so I can have hot food ready for me whilst I'm out. It's actually quite nerdy. You can it connects to your phone, and you can set it so I have it set so it's cooked and ready for 3 o'clock. So I get back to the car, I pull out my lunchbox, and yesterday I had steak, broccoli, and green beans.
I have never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing gadget. I was a bit dubious about it. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And today I cooked a Thai green curry and some duck and crispy pancakes.
Wow.
Just fresh hot food in a lunchbox is fantastic.
Is it a cool lunchbox? You know, like Power Rangers or Ultraman? Or
unfortunately,
Mario?
I mean, it's just a grey and red.
Oh man,
thing.
Come on.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
fine.
I mean, it's
It's
the kind of
boring.
thing you'd put it inside a lunchbox like that, I guess.
Okay, you have to buy a bigger lunchbox to put that lunchbox in.
Yeah, I mean, it's about yay big. It's not
Okay.
massive. It's quite heavy because it's basically just a massive battery with steel
heating
I
element.
presume, or something.
Yes.
It's not. Yeah, it's basically like the bottom of a kettle. I think it would be the closest thing to.
That's amazing. Like I said, I've never heard. I'm baffled by that. I've never heard of something like that
brilliant.
before.
It's absolutely fantastic. I was dubious, but it's worked 2 days in a row, and that was great.
You're so high tech.
The main thing was I'm quite obviously put on a shit ton of weight. I think I've put on all the weight that you've lost, Craig.
In that case, I sent you 75 pounds. Sorry.
Probably not far off. So unfortunately, when you work in doing jobs that I'm doing, you either take a packed lunch and it's boring because realistically a packed lunch is sandwiches, isn't it? You either have sandwiches or wraps or some kind of breaded item, something in bread, and that just gets boring after a while for a start. And on a rainy, horrible day, you want hot food, so you end up going, and it's got to be quick because you only have so much time for lunch. So the amount of Burger King that I ate in my first 2 months working here was ridiculous.
Well, I've told you before. Yeah, fast food is the work of the devil in the dieting world.
And then we got bored of that because for some reason I seem to be the one that dictates where everyone eats at the moment. And we got into a habit of going to I call them fast pubs. They're like things like Weatherspoons over here. They do like pub food, but it's out quick. So we started eating loads of like pub food, and usually the quickest thing to do there is like an all-day breakfast. So it's bacon, sausage, eggs, beans, fried toast, hash browns. So I was just getting absolutely fat as hell. So I had to. That's the story of my lunchbox. Really boring, I know. And what's new with you, Craig? Have you got something way more exciting to talk about?
I just put up a post on my Facebook page about I am actually ahead on music right now, which I find amazing. Now that my manager told me to release 1 track a month. So, what did I tell you about that? I've upgraded you to manager now.
I was just gonna say, like, that sounds incredibly like a bit of advice that I gave you.
Yeah, so you're going to be in charge of planning my European tour, doing all the logistics and all that kind of stuff. So when I get over there, right, you got my back. Okay.
If you actually come over here, I hope you're gonna have like some kind of half practice repertoire, because I will get you a gig. I promise you that.
Well, can you find us a drummer? I mean, you play bass, but we're like a drummer and a couple, another guitar player and a keyboard player, maybe.
I could probably figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
If I know you're actually coming over, like legitimately coming over, and we've got like at least like 2-3 days spare, not just like you're coming over for 3 days. But
Right
like
on.
2-3 days, or like 4 hours on 2 or 3 days. Get something together. Definitely,
Okay.
100%.
Cool.
We'll be playing a gig, 100%.
I'll put it on my list, man. But anyway, yeah, about that, like I said, I just released Dragon Riders, which is doing well.
Which is
And
fantastic.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. My next track will be coming out on July 9th, which has already been mixed, uploaded to the servers and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about the title yet. I'll let you guys wait before I drop the bomb on that one, but it's a pretty cool track. I went from, after Dragon Riders being so acoustic and stuff, I went totally the opposite way. This one's a slammer, big electrics, a lot of power to it. I just took the dial bend and went other direction. And I'm also just started working on the September song. I had the lyrics down, and I'm just starting to get rough drafts of chord progressions and the melodies. So I'm actually ahead of the game for a change. So it's pretty cool.
Does it feel good?
It feels great. It feels weird.
Do you just want to I just want to get everything out now?
No, I've gotten past that, because you finally burned that into my head after 10 years. I should just cool it, But Connie did say to me the other day, she says, now don't be so worried about the next thing, even though I'm 2 months out. She's going like, well, you just want to get the next thing ready to go. And I go, well, maybe. Well, I enjoy the process, you guys know that, right? As long as it's not frustrating me. When it's fun, it's great, Yeah. So, yeah. And so that's new with me.
This way, you can't be frustrated, because if you're getting ahead now, you can't be like, oh, I haven't put something out in ages. Oh.
I know.
Not that actually ever happened to you, to be fair.
I don't, hopefully not. I mean, it's all Craig Allen Heck stuff too. I do have a vision for, I think there needs to be a new Sea Rage track, and I have a name for it. It's going to be called Fustercluck, which I think is quite funny. But I have no idea what it's going to sound like yet. So as soon as I know, you guys will know as well. So that's coming down the line at some point here. But yeah, Sea Rage has been quiet for a while, so it's time to dig him back up, I think.
Dig him up. Some say Sea Rage was actually buried, and that's why he's been so quiet.
Oh, that would explain the fur on his head. It kind of grows out after a while. Oh, also, I'm also working on the Dirty Dan album with my good... Oh, we're talking about collabs. We will later on in the show here.
There we go.
My good friend Mark Walters, who is Dirty Dan, we have been getting together in my studio every Monday, and we're mapping out song titles, lyric ideas. It's Dirty Dan's whole backstory. He commits a crime, goes to prison, comes out of prison, finds the Mud Puppies. They start a band, and how his whole... It might be a whole album for all I know at this point.
I love it already.
Yeah, it's been very interesting doing that with him. So yeah, it's been cool as well. That's what's new with me.
Well, on that note, we should probably ask everyone what's new with them and play a track so we can read what they're up to.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Yeah, you guys in the chat box, what's new with you?
I think we need that as a button, don't we? What's new with you?
What's new? What's new? We can't do the what's new Pussycat. That'd be a copyright strike. But
I think it'd have to be like a multi-layered harmony, kind of what's new with you? What's new with you? What's new with you?
Yeah, we could do that. Kind of like a barbershop quartet. Yeah. See, great minds, man.
Yep.
See,
exactly.
Yeah, we're starting to think alike. That's terrifying.
Soon we'll be finishing each other's sandwiches.
Don't tell our wives. They're going to think something's really weird. You guys aren't allowed to think alike. Well, okay. Okay.
What's first, Craig?
I got it right here. The first track is by Blair Sparrow. It's called "Someday in Your Life."
It is. Craig?
Yes?
Track name first, please.
Track name first? "Someday in Your Life."
That's it.
You mean all this time I've been saying these backwards?
It's just because if you say the track name, like I've got the list of artists that we're going to play. I just don't have the track name.
Well, in that case, I'll make sure I just give you track names the rest of the day before we do the name of the band.
So it just makes before, I'll already have all the music. I mean, you could just tell me now, I guess. But I'll have all the music up by Brother Dynamite next. Oh, wasn't it Cracks in the Shell first?
No, it's not. Cracks in the Shell is the next to last track.
Oh.
Did you not get the list that I sent? Oh, Kat must have sent you the
Catherine
list.
changed the order.
She did then.
She changed.
No,
the
I have
order.
actual. I can forward you the real thing if you'd like it.
That would be lovely, thank you.
Yeah, hang tight.
Someday in your life, I hope you see the things I have done. Someday in your life, you always get the things you give.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
We'll do that then.
Oh, cool.
Someday in your life, you'll find strength from a place you never.
This is quite REM.
Yeah, isn't it though? You know, I'm trying to figure out who HQ is. I feel like I should know who you are, but you don't ring a bell with me. Stand for high quality.
He used to do HQ's Good Vibes, the show here.
Oh, duh. Yeah, okay.
My Polish spreader in.
That rings a bell.
Just quickly put the playlist together so won't have any waiting problems now. Whoop, whoop.
There you go. Ooh, this HQ post is cool. Gonna write lyrics in English. Gonna start to cook the storytelling immersive world. That's right up my alley, man. That's what I do. We build worlds here at XRP. Neat. Oh, this guy's speaking to me, man.
HQ's one of my bestest buddies. That's who I usually hang around with when I go back to see my parents.
Oh, okay. Going to be cryptic and build a world around songs that help people reflect on their emotions and relations. Oh, this is great. Very good.
Here we go. You are listening to XRP Radio. That was Someday in Your Life from Blair Sparrow here on said XRP Radio. That's that thing that I just said you were listening to. And if you didn't realize that by the amount of XRPs and yellow things that are on your screen right now, or should be on your screen if you're listening to our voices, then you're on the wrong website. You need to go to xrpradio.co.uk/chat and join us in the chat box. And you can be in this group of people that you can see on the screen there, if you can see it on the screen there. Or if you're not watching us, then you're on an Alexa or something. Get out your phone anyway. Go to xrpradio.co.uk and join us in the chat there anyway. It's all
right.
exciting.
So yeah, it's totally your choice. Do you want to gaze upon our lovely faces as we're doing this? Or just listen to our mellifluous tones? Is that a word? Mellifluous tones.
It may as well be, isn't it?
Sans video. You know.
So, Craigie.
Yes.
We dive in. Actually, firstly, shout out to all the cool stuff that HQ's intending to do at the moment. That's the thing he didn't want to tell me, but you've just told me. It's great, brilliant.
Yeah,
that's quite exciting. Part of a group creating hardstyle techno.
Yeah, I was commenting to Tizz here while the song was playing that HQ was talking about cooking up a storytelling and immersive world, which is exactly what I like to do. So we are obviously of a like kind here. So very cool. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
Be interesting to see if we can add it to. It's another thing that we can add to our story time with Craig segments. Apart from it'll be story time with HQ.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. It's kind of
you know
so
what
funny
would be cool?
said that.
Actually setting that up actually. But...
It's so funny you said that because I was going through some songs last night and I found those intros. I totally forgotten about them.
I've got them kind of set up. I just need to figure out how to do the thing that makes them switch between the kind of 2-3 blocks that we thought about. So it makes sense because I don't want it to play it like it's to make it sure it goes in order, so it's not playing out of sync, so you don't get like Cluckzilla and then Captain Midnight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I was thinking about that. You know, like what qualifies as a Craig story? I mean, because I thought about that kind of seriously, right? Dragon Riders tells a story.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Dragon Riders
so it's kinda
definitely
like,
should be added in.
you know, Ronnie's song told a story about a band that starts and breaks up. And remember Ronnie's song?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that's-
Spotify.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
a story tune as well. I guess I never really thought about how much more I'm really writing story songs right now myself, which is probably going to continue because I really enjoy that. So there you go. Yep.
Sorry, I just
Yes.
I ended up getting distracted by the fact that one of the tracks was just very confusing.
Uh-oh. Did I
in
confuse you?
its- No, you didn't. They did. They had submitted the track to our database, all in English, Happy Days. And then when I downloaded it, it definitely was not in English.
Oops. Maybe
And
there's
I
two
had to-
versions.
I had to figure out what was going on there. So yeah, sorry for me being distracted and only half paying attention there. Moving swiftly on to our wonderful topic of the day.
Yes.
Craig, you've been doing all your stuff solo for quite a while. Recently relinquished a few things like graphics out to, well, you allowed me to subcontract Booms in to do some cool graphics for Cluckzilla specifically. You've always been one. Previously, I managed to convince you to try out a jam, but previously you're like, I don't work with people unless they're in the same room as me.
Right on.
I don't really like giving away any of my creative directions to other people. I'd rather do it myself, so I get exactly what I want. Notice that you kind of like the idea of having someone that can deliver something that is a good idea, but to maybe a higher technical specification than you can deliver graphically.
No, that's for sure.
Not audio-wise yet. Where's your stance on working with, specifically in this little nook of our conversation, regarding having people like managers, graphic designers, other people involved in the kind of creative side and the outlet side of your stuff? How do you feel about it?
To be totally honest with you, I would welcome the help. I really would. You know, I've never sought out like a creative, like a graphics person or a promotional person, or I would love that. You know, I would love just to be able just to work on writing music, right? And that's all I've got to do. I mean, the fact that I let you finally advise me about just the frequency of my releases, is huge. And the thing is, it's not that I think I know it all, or anything, or I'm some great musical genius or something. I'm not. I know what I know, but I think the thing is, to get someone else's input is cool as long as you can like interact with them, and kind of like shape the vision together. That's really cool, But yeah, in terms of management and stuff like that, yeah, I would welcome something like that. I just don't reach out for that. I'm very happy in my little world here, in my little cocoon down here, and I do what I do,
See, one of my biggest issues with working with other people outside of a business side, like in business, if there's a transaction, shall we say, you have paid someone to do something that you have told them to do, then they have to provide what you've told them to do. And if it's not good enough, you can turn around and go, no, do that again, because I paid you to do it this way. Right. As long as you're good with the brief that you've delivered, you should have the product that you've asked for the price that you've paid. Cool. When it's like people, just like other creative types, and they've gone like, oh, I'll design your cover for you. And I'll be like, okay, this is kind of what I want. And you get it, and it's not quite there. But they've spent lots of time on it and lots of hours on it, but you just don't want to use it. I find that horrible. I don't like that bit. And that's what turns me off working with people. Like, I don't mind, like with Booms, it's been not too bad because we've done little creative projects, just like we've sent stuff to each other. I've seen what he's done before. We've got the same creative kind of way of being able to talk to each other, work stuff out, and get to a final product. So it's kind of easy with him, and it's tried and tested as well. So it's like, I know what I'm gonna get here. I know I'm not going to get this because he can't do this, but I know he can do this very well, so we can get that out
Right.
of him. Fantastic.
Right.
But like when it's a good friend who's like made an offer and I've been like, wicked, I don't have to do that now, jump at the chance, and then you get the product and you're like, oh, I remember the same kind of thing, just even working on XRP with like promotion statuses, and the first few, she's great at it now, but the first few times where Kat was like, I'll do the promo for you, and I'm like, all right then. And I just automatically assumed that she knew everything that I did. So I expected for all of that to be done. And then it's like, so I posted like 200 groups and loads of hashtags and hit Instagram and whatever. And I got back and she'd done a very nice looking status. Don't get me wrong. Good imagery, all sorted out. Great. But it was just a Facebook post. And I was like, that's not promotion. That's just a very good Facebook post. This is no good. And it's like she spent time out of her day and she tried to help me, and I don't just want to be like, this is shit. But now when I've got home or in that creative process again with say if with the album cover person, all of a sudden I've used that time that I should have been doing making that on something else. Yeah. And now I've got to do that in like 5 minutes right at the end, right. Album cover. A week before you're going to release your album, you get the album cover and you don't like it, and you're like, shit, now I've got to come up with an album cover in a week. That's the kind of stuff that takes that makes me try and stay away from teamwork, or even with work, even XRP as a business, or even at work, like to delegate to other people. It's like, no, I'll just do it myself. It is a bit like, I'll just do it myself because then it's done and it can be done to the standard that I know I can do. I can't be upset with it because I'll do it as best as I can. Right. I know what, it takes all of that stress away from it. However, you're quite right. Like the ability to not have to do those things and just focus on the music. Do you think that would make your music better without the stress of the other things?
No, not for me. I kind of compartmentalize them. I mean, I get the song first, then I have to worry about how to get it out there, at least in the limited way that I do, right? I mean, I have multiple Facebook pages. I barely know how to use Instagram. Instagram still stumps me, how to put things out. I mean, I have video cameras and stuff. I thought about shooting really cool videos and making reels and everything and all that kind of, but then you got to figure out where to send it, all that stuff. I'm not that hooked up with social media. I mean, I don't know all the different spots to put promo, so that stuff, I'm just worried about trying to make a song that's not going to embarrass me, and that's hard enough. And, especially when you're a solo artist, right?
Or in some cases, Craig, a song that will embarrass you on purpose.
Well, that too. But it's just so tough because, right, I didn't sign on to become an engineer and a producer. I mean, I've learned a lot from people that have taught me how to mix. My mixes now compared to when I started out are, hundreds of times better. But people have taught me about, frequencies and, how to boost, how to cut, compression. I never know about that stuff. I mean, I've told you guys before, I think, I don't work on the computer. I don't use a DAW. I use, essentially, it's a souped up, Tascam multi-track. It's digital. It's a Porta Studio. It's a 32-track digital Porta Studio because I like having, knobs and faders as opposed to moving a mouse all over the screen. I'm an old guy. I came up with that stuff. So I do have the capability here to use the software, but I don't do it. I guess I should just learn it sometime and do it, but yeah, I kind of forgot where I was going to go from that. But I was going to say kind of a shout out to you and Booms, as long as I'm on the subject. You guys were a godsend when it came to Cluckzilla. Cluckzilla was the one album I thought, I think I have a chance to make something really good here. And I felt good about it, and the songs were good and the mixes were good. And I thought, if I'm going to have a shot at actually doing something worthwhile, Cluckzilla was it. Not that I necessarily rank everything post Cluckzilla. I felt good about it.
Shut up, Craig. Sorry.
So there's that.
Sorry, there was another you there. Sorry, I didn't mean to say shit.
Why am I cloning? Isn't one of me bad enough? Isn't one of me rank?
Yeah, I know. Stop doing that. Right, but what I'm trying to do here, we have a comment on our live stream from Mudville Casey, and I'm trying to click on it so I can see it, but it keeps opening up the live video full volume, even though I've quite clearly clicked the mute button. And all it was to say, Mudville Casey said that he's totally solo, but he loves it. There's a little comment there. He just says Facebook user here. But that's what I was just trying to figure out who it was that sent it, because annoyingly,
that's cool. No, but Tizz, getting back to what you were saying, my problem is I hate saying no to people, or I hate saying, like you just said, I hate saying, yeah, it's cool, but I don't like it, because the last thing I want to do is hurt someone's feelings, you know. And that's where, you know, working totally alone, I don't have that problem. I do the best I can, and I put out what I put out, and you know, it is what it is, you know. Because when I work down here with Mark, which might be when we more talk about collabs, you know, he'll offer me an idea, and I'm so apologetic. I go do it. It just doesn't fit the vision that I'm seeing. I can't do it. I don't want to do it that way. And he's so understanding. He's so cool. He gets it. Yeah, that's fine. We'll try something else, you know. But some people don't do that. You will work with people that say, well, F you, it's my way or the highway. You don't like my idea? Who are you, Mr. High and Mighty Rock Star? You know, you get that whole ego thing in there, and then you got problems, you know, and that's just working with other people, you know. So
I remember a specific incident in the old punk band that I've harped on about for a million times, where our lead singer, frontman, guitarist he was the lead singer, frontman, and guitarist because he was the guy with the kit. If we're being honest, he had the rehearsal room in his garden, like a little porta cabin with all this stuff. So you know, we were being a punk band because he wanted to form a punk band and was like, "Do you want to do this? I've got a unit in my garden where we can all rehearse." And we were like, "Yep, okay, sweet." And he wasn't. I mean, he was a punk singer, so he wasn't the best singer. And obviously, you see it in a lot of the pop punk that you hear everywhere. The way that they hide their not great singing is harmonies, but like just almost together, harmonies, that pop punk 2 front leading. So we're trying to do that, and he didn't want the limelight off him, I don't think. And me and the drummer weren't the best singers either, but we thought, you know, this definitely hides the fact that you are abysmal. So we're going to do this. And he's like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're going to do it my way. And it's like, this is 2 against 1, but I hate Kit Kings. Kit Kings are annoying.
Yeah.
Or when, typically you get that on stage as well when one drummer's lending the kit for everyone to use. But he won't let anyone change the layout of the kit.
Right.
So,
right.
Like, you can use my kit, but you have to drum exactly like me.
Yeah, don't you dare even change the angle of the snare drum or something, you know. Like it's all set up for me, you know, don't mess with it.
There's no need for that. There's no need. But yeah, that's working with people. Solo, I do like creative control. I do like that a lot. I could never imagine. I think just because I do produce myself, I can't imagine sending my music to another producer and being happy with the result that came back. I don't think that would ever happen. In the same way that I wouldn't expect another producer to turn around to me and give me their music and say, do exactly what I want. No, it's probably not going to work. One of the biggest downsides solo though, unless you're complete crazy music geek nerds like me or yourself, Craig, is the expense of it. Money's tighter between one person than it is four.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think I've mentioned as well, you know, my studio here, this is the result of years, you know, of buying gear and saving money and putting money back into equipment. You know, I'm at the point right now, thank God, after doing this, you know, 40 years or whatever it's been, I don't want for anything. You know, there's always something newer and shinier and faster and better, but what I have here, like you guys can't see it, there's a whole rack of guitar pedals here to my left side. And the stuff I have here is pretty much obsolescence proof. It's all updatable. It's by software. It's all modeling. I never have to worry about getting the newest shiny thing because I can just download more tones and whatnot, more different effects, you know, offline. And, you know, I really have no need to really get anything else. I could use a new set of headphones, so my foam is starting to fall apart on these. Otherwise, I'm in pretty good shape. But yeah, for sure, the cost is astronomical.
You'd be able to get replacement pads for that, surely.
Can you?
Yeah, I got a set of replacements for these.
Oh, I should just look into that then. I heard you could do that, but I've never really thought about that.
Yeah. Don't get. They're usually quite fiddly to put back on. I won't.
That's what I was afraid. And I got this stupid long cord that always wraps up on itself. The new ones, you can unplug it right here, which would be really cool, I'd think. But anyway, that's almost a tangent.
Yeah, almost a tangent.
Almost a tangent.
We haven't got a half tangent alert.
No, we don't. But yeah, you were saying, just like I said, going back to part of being a solo artist. Yeah, there is definitely an cash outlay for sure. So
yeah. Like for people, you do tend to notice it that the lead singer tends to have the majority of like the stage kit. The drummer tends to have the majority of the production kit. He'll be the one with Logic on his laptop or something like that.
Correct.
The bassist tends to always organize all the extras, the merches, all those extra little bits that you have to do around the band. Mm-hmm. And then if you've got a keyboard or a synth player, they'll be in with the production as well and buy in stupid amounts of like loops and patches and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have the backing singers, which are just generally glorified groupies. Sorry, backing singers.
But they wrap up cables though.
They are good at wrapping up cables. They are good at a bit of stage management with the backup singers, definitely.
Yeah, that was always my thing. I can't wrap cables for shit. I had a big cord case, right? Like a duffel bag. I just unzip it, throw the cables in it, smash them down, zip it again. Good enough.
That would hurt my brain.
I'm horrible, man. I can't. I'm better at it now. I mean, the studio now actually has Velcro ties and like loops on all my wirings. Before I never did. I kind of threw the wiring behind everything, and you never saw it. So
I used to have everything neat. This studio is actually terrible because just under this desk, there's kind of like a net cradle, and you run all the wires through it. But because I mean, you've seen me sometimes. I'm like changing wires and switching stuff around on the fly. So like what was nicely laid out wires on like this long netted hammock is now like this big dreadlock of cables.
Yeah, man.
Just in the middle, it's all just twisted up on itself. And one day I'm gonna have to like unplug everything and rewire everything.
That's what I had to do. Yeah. When we came up with the new studio configuration, we pulled every line out. And it was so funny. There were so many lines that went to nothing. There was just a bare end on the floor that went nowhere because I unplugged it at some point and dropped it.
Yeah.
But talking about not collabs, but being a solo artist, I think one of the things as well. I have dreamt of an actual live band, right? An actual Craig Allen Heck band, which would be incredible. But I think we've spoken about this before as well. I think if you would show someone a part, right, for them to play, they're still going to put their own individual spin on it and their own individual feel on it. It wouldn't necessarily be what you had in mind in the first place, but that's just how people reinterpret music, right?
I think it depends how and who. So like I've done quite a few, especially through college and uni, I've done quite a few of these kind of rock orchestra performances. And I've also, I mean, I came from an orchestral background anyway, I played for the CBSO and violin and all that kind of stuff, viola. So like I'm very used to reading music and especially all the little accent marks and that. As an orchestra, you can't put your own flair on it. You have to play if you ever listen to like an orchestra play Bach and you go to the CBSO and then you go to like whatever one plays out of Sydney Opera Hall, the general sound will be exactly the same. There won't be any stylistic flair to any of it. The only difference that you tend to have is obviously you have certain virtuoso violinists that get the solo parts, for want of a better word. And the better the violinist, the better that part is played. But it's definitely more on a technical level of that's played really well rather than, they've put so much of their own self into that piece of music. They may play with soul, don't get me wrong. There may be some kind, played with emotion.
Sure.
But because of the way orchestral music just is. You have to replicate what you're given. They don't want you to get on your knees and make screamy, waily sounds halfway through the track. And that
Right.
definitely does pull over. You do have a few people that are, I mean, I haven't played in like massive, they've always been educational based. It hasn't been like professional rock orchestra it has been in big venues, but it's not like super pro. So in those situations, you obviously had the certain guitarists that had to have their very specific guitar tone.
Oh yes, yes.
But
big on it.
in other aspects, it's been like what I did imagine you'd have to work as a conductor and conduct the group of people, and you'd have to go to the amps and set the sounds as you'd want them. For the first time at least anyway, and then teach everyone how that goes. So from the first process, it gets quicker and quicker. Like I wouldn't think doing a lot of your music just as a typical band 4-piece, kind of 4 to 7-piece synth player, blah, 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 small outlet. I don't think that would work so well with that kind of, especially not Cluckzilla at least anyway.
No, it's a lot of it is so damned orchestral. You know, it wouldn't work at all.
I'd see it definitely still as solo work, almost like some of the stuff that like Damien Albarn has done and Paul Weller and such like that.
Yeah.
Where it's Paul Weller on stage. It is him, and everything is him, but then he's got the orchestral elements in the background and stuff.
Correct. Yeah. No, it's so funny you talk about guitarists. You know, I'm guilty on that one when it comes down to if I don't have my specific tone, right? To me, I can't do shit. I got to have that certain level of compression. A guy that I used to work with in a band, guy named Bruce, told me that I have what he called liquid sustain. And I worked a long time to get the settings for liquid sustain. You know, I can hold a note forever, you know, but it's a lot of settings. Like I said, compression's a big thing, gain, all that stuff. Your delay times, stuff like that. You know, it took me a long time to dial it in quite right. And if I had to go on stage and use someone else's sub and didn't have my sound, it would be like, well, shit, I can't do anything, you know?
Yeah. That can be, I remember a period in college where we were doing a lot of gigs and the college tutors were trying to get the guitarist to board share. So they didn't have to keep switching stuff over to get the rotation quicker.
Yeah,
that's like the problem with college, like we had quite a big course, so normally you go out to a night out with 3 or 4 bands on a stage for the night, and they're trying to cram in like 6 or 7 bands in on a stage in a night, so they want the turnover to be quick because they still want, because it's graded performances as well, they still want everyone to have a full set and do a full thing. So they've had to start a little bit earlier and try and get those kind of what typically half an hour turnarounds between bands down to 10 minutes. So they're trying to get us to pedal board shares.
Oh wow! How did that work?
I remember the first time it was mentioned, and like obviously all the bassists were like, we use a fucking envelope filter and a distort pedal at maximum. That's it. That's all any bass player ever uses, a good envelope and a distortion, maybe a compressor if you really need it, if you're doing like electro based performance. So we're all fine, and we looked over to the guitarist and like the shock on the faces, the fear.
Yeah, I'll bet.
You know, the conversation that we had, that very heated conversation over whose Boss Orange pedal is getting used, whose Line 6 pod is getting used, whose stomp boxes are getting used, because no one wanted anyone else to stomp on their pedals, so they wanted all those like those 4-box trigger pedals where it's just pedal on a board, and you just link all your other pedals into it.
Right. Yeah, like a switcher. Yeah.
Who's one of those are we going to use? Oh, that was a big debate. That was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of pitfalls when working with other people, especially if you're working with people that are outside your own band as well. Definitely, if you got to do a kit share, any kind of kit share on stage, drums, pedals is the worst, I think.
I would think so.
Yeah, pedals is the worst. Microphones is not so much done because people.
Oh yeah.
Microphones is the one thing on stage that you can catch something off, basically. So you want your own and you want it clean
and spray it down. I know. I've never done a band share thing of all things in all the years I was playing. We never. It was it was us and us. We've done Battle of the Bands, where it was like 2 stages, right? We were like on one side, and then the other band was all set up on the other side, and we went back and forth. But never did the band share thing. That was.
I've never actually seen a Battle of the Bands done that way.
Yeah, it was fun.
I see a lot of Battle of Bands where it's like 4 bands on in one night, and then they get voted for the best one at the end of the night, kind of thing.
Mhm.
But that Scott Pilgrim style of band battle, that's what it is, really, isn't it?
It is.
You
It
watch
is.
that, yeah?
Of course.
Quite cool.
I got that. Yeah, watch that. I've got the video game.
We're past the 40-minute mark. We're going to have to play a track, right?
We're gonna play a track. I'll give you the track name first.
It doesn't matter now. I've got them all, so I've got them all in order.
You got me all.
Don't matter for the rest of the day,
dude. Okay, you ready? All right, folks. This track is by Brother Dynamite. It's called Shine.
Then again, I should probably just get you used to saying the track name first.
I can do it.
May as well just get used to it, yeah.
It's 50-50,
When I
man.
was a child, my mother told me, don't let the bad times keep you down.
Right, I'm going to get my drink.
Your day
Yeah, do your
is
thing.
gonna come, so keep your head up, son, and your feet firmly on the ground. Don't build a wall around your heart. Leave some room for love. And if it hurts sometimes, that's how you know you're alive. Live with your eyes open, savor every moment. Promise that you'll always try to get back up when you're down. Make this life your own now. Don't let this world dim your light.
It's nice and uplifting.
Yeah, I thought it's really cool. It's a cool track. Like I said, I was a bit more eclectic this time. I got a whole bunch of different kinds of styles this week. Now, you know, it's too bad there's no more guys in the chat. I like this conversation.
Me while I try to make sense of it all. Now and then I stumbled, my whole world crumbled. You made sure I didn't fall. You told me you got to choose your own road now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something somewhere. Did I not post something somewhere?
And you'll know what to
I
do.
did everything.
Well, let's see. I got all of my notifications. Let's talk to a different different thing than XRP. I've got Facebook. I got YouTube.
Everything's gone right.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it a slow night over there in England?
I don't know. I went to work, I came home, I watched the news, I did this show.
I know this is. I think this is a great conversation. I'm enjoying it.
But I want to, when I've got 5 minutes over the weekend, I want to start using that website that I showed you, start pulling out T-bits and use it reels.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one thing you had where it made little reels and stuff. That was
yeah. I want to get onto that, and then we can start reusing some of this just for social posts stuff out there. Because I love some of the stuff that he was picking out. To be fair.
Well, that would be cool. You know, like highlights, like last week on the Craig and Tizz show, that kind of thing. You know.
Leave some room for love. And if it
Yeah, we're gonna have to
hurts
make a page.
sometimes, that's how you know
Probably,
you're
or hire someone to do it for us.
alive. Live with your eyes open, savor every moment. Promise that you'll always try to get back up when you're down. Make this life your own now. Don't let this world dim your light. Just let it shine. Just let it shine. Just let
We
it
have to
shine.
talk about collaboration yet.
Just
We
let
have
it
We'll do that just right now.
Just let it shine. Just let it shine.
Brother Dynamite with Shine here on XRP Radio. You're listening to the Craig and Tizz show, and I am Tizz and that is Craig, and we're going to talk collaboration now. Something that I've done a horrific amount of in a very quiet manner myself. Craig's done something in a very loud manner, possibly the loudest manner, as it was with a grave huffer. What was it like? So this is from the outside coming in. You were the collaboratee, not the collaborator, as it were.
Yeah. Richie from Gravehuffer reached out to me and he said, yeah, man, we're working on this track and we think your solo style would fit really cool in this one part of it. And I said, dude, I've never collabed before, especially over the internet. I mean, like Tizz has heard a million times, I will love to collaborate with somebody face to face so we can feed off each other and get the vibe. I'm all about that, but I've never done long distance collab before, right? So it was on this track they had written called Stingray, which is on their Necro Eclosion album. And track was really cool.
I don't know whether that was just pure coincidence, but you are also a big Stingray fan.
I used to ride them when I was a kid. Yeah. They were bicycles. That's what that song is about. Stingray bikes.
I was on about Stingray.
I know anything could happen in the next half hour. That's Stingray. I'm a huge Stingray fan. But no, it was about riding your Stingray bike and jumping over things, and that was a track. It wasn't about the Brit show, unfortunately.
For some reason, I didn't catch the lyrics on that one.
Yeah, no, it's about riding your bike and being crazy and shit, But okay. So it's so funny because the rest of it's this really, metally, doomy thing, and it gets to the breakdown, and it's like this slow part. So they must have thought we could use a slow guitar player. Who do you know? Well, Craig's pretty slow, So they gave me a slow part. But the part that was so funny was they're asking me, okay, they sent me the track, right, and all I had to do was plug it into my deck, play along with it, and send it back to them. Okay, simple enough. But the problem was that after I put it into my deck, right, they needed the stems back. And I didn't know what a stem was, for one thing, and I had 22, because my thing does 32 tracks, right? So there's 32 tracks that I can download, but not all of them had audio on them. I had to find the one that had my guitar track and then send that over to those guys along with their stuff. So it was just, I hadn't done that well enough, right? Technologically wise, to understand how I was supposed to do it. But everything worked out, and I got the track over to him, and it worked out fine, so that was cool.
So but, yeah, I mean, in that case, it seemed like a pretty easy going way. Then I mean, like, did you just do one thing and they were happy with it? They didn't ask you to redo it, or were they just really horrible about a brief, like play at least 1,700 notes?
No, man, they were super cool, because when it slowed down, I was thinking a lot more like space between notes and like more flowing, not just staccato, high speed crap, because the rest of the song was staccato, high speed stuff, right? So I'm going, okay, if the part in the middle is slower, I'm going to slow it down and just play more like legato, soaring kind of lines over it. I just more like almost like a Ronnie James Dio thing I came up with, but I sent them 2 versions of it. And I said, hey, man, pick whatever one you want. You want something else, I'll come up with something else. So they were happy with it, so it made the album. So that was fantastic, so that was cool.
And anything else that you've done since?
In terms of like other artists, like guest artisting?
Well, as in like you on someone else's thing, because obviously we're about to go on to the Dirty Dan and such.
I can speak on that at length, actually. And I know we've only got so much time here, almost at the first hour of the show. But I haven't done anything else with anybody else in terms of like other groups and whatnot. Just the Gravehuffer thing. Yeah, but talking about collabs live here in the studio, now the Dirty Dan thing is really interesting, because we did that Cajun Cookout track, which a lot of folks really enjoyed, which was cool. And then he was also Samir on the
of course,
Bizarre Buffet track. That was him as well. And then he was also the Japanese TV reporter on Clugzilla. And then he also sang a line with me on the rap track on that, which I think was Funky Chicken to Death. He was on that with me as well. But the funny thing about working with him is that he is not a musician. Not at all. He has no concept of it whatsoever. But he's an idea guy. He's a creative guy. He can just throw out these concepts. I can stand him in front of a microphone, point at him, and just some of the most crazy shit falls out of his head, you know. And we record, that was the whole Bizarre Buffet thing, you know. And he talks about, you know, well, you guys, I think I've talked about that before. You know, I have a food stand in India, and I'm doing this and that. I go, good, record it. You know, that's what Bizarre Buffet was. But he's such an idea guy. He sits down here with me. He has a certain chair he sits in, and he has his notebook, you know, and we sit down and just kind of, you know, he'll spitball lyrics at me and stuff. But the thing is that he doesn't think in terms of, what's the word I want, rhyme necessarily, or meter. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, if I need a certain amount of syllables to fit a line, right, for a vocal, he'll go way past that because he's giving me complete ideas. He's not giving me it in lyric format. Okay. It's like someone hands you a book, right, or a sheet of prose or a poem, and it's your job to take that and turn it into something musical. So that's where it's like he's speaking Japanese and I'm speaking German, right? I have to understand what he's, to be able to make it into music, right? He's giving me all these big chunks of information. I got to figure out some way to whittle it down into something that I can, you know, write a song around, right? And that part is really hard, you know. But he is super cool about, he gives me a lyric line and I go, well, no, man, because I can't make that fit a 4/4 or a 3/4 or what have you. I can't jam it in there because you'd be singing so many syllables, it would just be gobbledygook, you know. So it's been really fun working with him, and very interesting and very different because, you know, you can work with a musician, right? And it's all this, oh, here comes the same riffs and here comes the same tonality and here comes, but being a guy who's not a musician, it's totally creative and totally free and totally out of the box. I mean, totally out of my world, which is cool because it makes me have to really think about it, you know, and really concentrate on what he's trying to tell me. But that's been a really great collaboration, you know. Not to mention the fact he's as nuts as I am as well, which really kind of helps.
Always helps, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's been a really cool collab for sure, you know. And then again, like you said, Tizz, you know, you and I tried that live on streaming, online streaming thing.
I wish
there was
that
just
worked
so much. There was just so much delay between the distance between the two of us. I mean, suppose that their software is supposed to compensate for that as well, but not enough. I couldn't. There was way too much lag.
I think it was a combination of distance and needing an up in hardware processing quality. Correct.
And also, I think you have a lot faster. I'm not sure if transmission speed down the lines makes a difference, but I'm capped at 40 meg here on my side. So whatever you're running over on your end,
I have all of the gigabytes.
Yeah, I figured you would. So yeah.
I have all of the internet for the whole of this area.
Anyway, that's my collab story. I'm sure you have quite a few tales to tell on your side.
Surprisingly, less so much. I mean, I've collabed in. I guess the biggest collaboration in any way was the Mighty Jam Band, actually, which was like, I mean, in effect, it was a 21-piece band, but realistically, very rarely were all 21 musicians on stage. We had lots of people coming in and out. It was kind of a very rotating band. The problem with that, and I was in a few jam bands as well, and it's like live on stage collaboration, I guess. So you very rarely recorded stuff in a lot of the jam bands because it was all about the live on stage jam. We had a few kind of starter riffs to bounce off, I guess. But the whole point was it was free flow and we didn't play the same thing 2 times in a row. So I didn't really have any of the problems in those situations where it was like, don't play that. That's not the idea of this. I mean, it was basically it was the in effect, you know, when you see on TV or in cartoons and it's the typical musician sitting in a dirty basement, all on beanbags, high or drunk, and they're all just jamming with the bongos and just playing notes. In effect, it was like that, but a lot better on stage. So that was a bit different. A lot of the early collabs I did, I was a feature rap artist of all things.
I know. Yeah, I've heard some of that.
Yeah, I had a lot of MCs that came to work in or get work done in our studio, and quite often they'd be doing stuff, and I'm quite good at helping people develop a flow. So I'll be able to turn around and go, why don't you add a syllable here, change that word there, and you'll get a different flow that will suit your words better. I know, like, for instance, I have a bit of a lisp, so I try and stay away from S's.
Oh yeah.
Just because so I can turn around to people and develop their flow in that manner. And through doing that, they quite often heard me rap and go, oh, you have a verse on the end of this. And that was under MC Easy was my old stage MC name.
That's cool.
And so I was on a lot of stuff. Some people may or may not know them. 24/7 Mentality, Proctor and Slash. I was on quite a lot of tracks from those people. That was easy because again, they've just turned around to me and gone, here's a topic, this is what the song's about, come up with something. I have a day, 16 bars. It's an easy write, to be fair. Rappers have probably got the easiest ability to like collaborate because there's enough beat makers out there that just sit down making beats all the time. You just need to go to YouTube or SoundCloud to find them. You find someone that's local to you that you can work with, and then you need 4 people that can all write 16 to 32 bars each. You can hammer out songs doing that.
Yeah.
The problem is the topics tend to be very lazy, and it can be a bit repetitive and boring working with these people that are doing the same similar kind of rap style. But collaborating as like a feature artist, I've never like done a bass solo in anyone's track. It's always been in a band. And then everything else that I've done is solo. Have I had anyone feature on it? I've had a few very occasional feature vocalists on tracks that I don't even play anymore. Usually females, usually my girlfriends of the time, to be honest. And it's like, I want a female vocalist on this. Will you give it a go? And they've gave it go twice, and then they've never done it again. And then obviously they're tracks that I've made with ex-girlfriends, so they're in the bin of history now.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Awkward things to bring out and that. It's a weird one for me. I've seen and I've been involved in helping other people collaborating, and I would probably say I'm probably one of the leaders in the independent world of getting 2 people together to make a piece of thing. The amount of collaborations that happen in the XRP chat box, well, not happen, but start off in the XRP chat box. I think DUI is the biggest culprit of that.
I would say.
So I've quite often been a middleman to others' collaborations, I guess. People have quite often says, "Oh, I need someone to do this," and I go, "I've got just the person for you." And
boy, do I know somebody?
Yeah, so it may or may not divulge from that. I wouldn't have been surprised. I couldn't actually tell you this. I won't claim the advice, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Richie might have turned around to me and go, "Do you know a slow guitarist?" So I went, "Use Craig, of course."
Yes,
quite possibly could have happened.
That could have. That may well have. Question for you. This might be a tangent. I'm not sure. In the Mighty Band, right? Did you do originals there, or was that covers?
That was all originals. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to wrap my head around, how did 20 people get together and write a song?
So a lot of it was actually based off kind of a synth beat originally. So there was 5 producers specifically, 3 main ones, and I guess because it was part of our college and uni courses, we were making lots of like atmospheric sound stuff and experimental soundscapes and stuff like that, because we were, part of the uni course was to experiment with sounds and psychoacoustics and stuff like that.
Sure.
So we had this big back catalogue of stuff. And we started going into rehearsal rooms, basically just plonking it on, because drummers were quite hard to come by at that time as well. So we could just put some beats on, because these are atmospheric soundscapes. We could leave them on for like just repeating for like an hour, and we just jam over that and just try and get ideas together. And it was just like a little chill out session initially, and then more and more people were invited to the rehearsal room. We started hiring the biggest one, and like there'd be all of us musicians there, and then like some of the guys' girlfriends and people, and they'd have a little drink and food in the corner, and we'd jam out. And it was like an event to start off with. It was just like loads of mates hanging around, and we take our instruments, and it was cheap to hire a room for like 20 quid for a few hours, to be honest. And we could all go hang around in there. So it all kind of started off as that. And then it just, developed and developed. More people would come in. Some people wouldn't be there one week, more people would be there the next week. It really did just kind of naturally develop. And one day we went, should we try and do this on stage? And we did it with, I think, 6 of us. We didn't have a drummer the first time. It was 2 guitarists, bass player, and two synth players, and a vocalist, and everyone pretty much sang or rapped as well. And because we'd done it so many times, when we finally took it to the stage, our anticipation was to just kind of wing it and jam it out, to be honest. It was like, it was kind of an open band night, like the one up front, and we were open mic night. You pre-registered and you had proper kit there and stuff. And we got on the stage, and we suddenly realized, like, even though we said, oh, should we play the one that we shout red in, the color red in? Like, we did actually have like 6 songs, and we didn't realize it. We were going to wing it, and then we were like, should we play this one? Should we play this one? And then at the end, we were like, we just did a set of songs that we all already knew, and we had some, like, we jammed out quite a bit of it, don't get me wrong, but like there was some solid riffs that we've played so many times. We had made songs, so we just had to structure them. A couple of violin players were at the same gig, and they turned around and were like, we want to get involved in this. This is brilliant. So we came straight from the gig, straight back into the rehearsal room, and that was kind of the birth of the Mighty Jam.
Cool.
We could come straight off stage, grab these extra violinists and a couple of mates of ours, straight back into the rehearsal room, straight as basically off stage, said, this is a great idea. Should we just do it now then? And that group of us structured the 6 songs that we had out properly, and we decided just to make it an open thing. So if we got a gig, we'd turn around to everyone that was, like we said, we were just hanging around in that room to start with, and we just turn around to everyone and go, who's coming? We need at least 1 drummer, please, ideally, but anything else, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. If a bass player wasn't there, just get a synth player to play the bass line. If a synth player wasn't there, just use a guitarist to use an effect. And it just
dropping on an octave
worked. So it was so natural, and it was like just a big bunch of college buddies. So there was nothing really, there was no real wrong way of doing it. If someone sounded goddamn awful, like playing the wrong note, that's just shit, then it was easy because it was democratic. The whole band turned around and go, don't do that. And they go, yeah, all right, then I won't do that now. So I had some really easy kind of forms of collaboration, to be honest with you.
Well, as I've always said, if I hit a bad note, that's jazz. That was jazz, man.
The other side, in my later life, I've had a lot of people go like, oh, do you want to remix this track? Or I've even had a track part ready and go like, Robin Sizek, I've been meaning to do something with her for ages, and she's definitely up for it, but it never gets to the final stage, annoyingly. I think she might actually be on the show this coming Saturday to release a new album, actually. Just need to double check that out with her. She was meant to be last Saturday, and then obviously I had a very bad week, and I was like, I could have you on, but I don't really want to promote it on the day because you're amazing. We love you.
Yeah, she's incredible.
So so I've had a lot of collab, like you were the collaboratee for Grave Huffer. I've wanted lots of people to be my collaboratees, and it's problem with the solo artist looking for. I'm very hard to get to that final stage of I'm a starter, I'm not a finisher.
Right.
And because like I get to a point and I'm like, well, I've made another piece of music that I hate, so I'm not really bothered about finishing it. Let's go start something else.
Would you do me a favor, and someday when you finally write that album, would you call it Songs I Hate? I would buy that in a I'd buy that in a flash.
I've got some ideas. We're at 10 past. We should probably play another track again.
Yeah, let's do another one. All right, man. Track name first, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man. This is called Good Thing, and it's by Just Alice.
Sorry, I kind of warbled on about it.
No, you were just fine, man.
So this track and the
You
rest
got
of
a
the track.
place down south, the last
16
place
minutes of
kicked
music
you
left.
out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna start doing your
Just
song map.
hiding walls. But ever since
Probably could be
That's
playing
the
folk
good
left,
thing
it's
about getting the
been
tracks in advance as well. I can kind of try and
hear
time out
it
everything
echo
a bit
through
there.
the halls.
That's what I was wondering too. We should be playing folks in the
This
chat.
time breeds loneliness. I'll get used
There's so much
to
music.
this, just like I always do. 'Cause being by myself is somehow worse than feeling lonely when I'm with you. It's gonna be a long summer. The heat hangs heavy on my chest. And I don't mean to be a bummer, but I think it's a good thing that
If Wrecker and
you
DUI collab and they don't call it driving recklessly, they're just wrong.
I totally agree.
I might ban them from XRP if they didn't call that.
I got
No
a place in the east. It ain't much, but at least it keeps me out of reach from you.
You know what? This girl,
And
she's
I've
got
been getting scared.
that almost
Feels
kind
like
of
there's someone there.
cutie
I
soft
think
voice that I
I'm
do
gonna
really like, but there's a
have
country
to.
twang there that's getting
This time
just a slight
breeds
little
loneliness.
twang at the end.
I'll get used to this,
Yeah.
just
That's what
like
I'm happy
I
about it.
always do.
Well, she's not built this country. I forgot how they.
Being by myself is
category
somehow worse than feeling lonely
Acoustic
when
folk.
I'm with
Yeah, that was it. Acoustic folk. Yeah, that was it.
It's gonna be a
Definitely folky.
long summer.
No, it's a nice song, but for me,
The
right,
heat
it's
hangs
chorus.
heavy on
Little
my
banjo.
chest.
a little
Yeah.
bit of banjo there.
Don't
And
chorus.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I think it's a
But she
good
rhymes
thing that
summer and
you
bummer, which is
left.
genius for me. It's like, you go,
Well,
girl.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I think it's a good thing that you left. And
Yeah,
all
this-
the
this
years
song, yeah.
we
Do you know what this reminds me a lot of, if you
making
remember it? Do you
plans
remember
for
Poppy's
the
Field?
future, wasting money
do.
on the rail, never
It's
again.
like the female version of Poppy's Field.
Uh-huh.
Never again.
I'm starting to cross songs off now so I don't get mixed up. I'm pretty smart.
Cause it's gonna be a long
Now it's got a little bit of bluegrass to it to me.
but I just had to get this off my chest. That I don't mean to be a bummer, but I think it's a good thing that you left. No, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I think it's a good thing that you left. No, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I think it's a good thing that you left. I think it's a good thing that you left.
Yeah.
Just Alice, good thing. I enjoyed that. Surprisingly, it was very much on the countryside, and I shouldn't like it, but
Yeah, it's got a bit of a bluegrass tinge to it towards the end there with the banjo and stuff. It's really cool.
it's a wee bit folky. Nice little soft vocals, and
Yeah.
and for anyone that is going to hold the note on the word bummer, I'm down for.
She did, dude.
Bummer.
Yeah, that was great, man. Yep. Like I've always said, I'm a moon and June writer. So summer and bummer, I'm all about that. I'm on board with you, girl. Good job.
Nice,
All right. So
excellent.
moving. Yes.
No,
I cut you off again. I shouldn't do that.
take the reins. Take all the reins if you do so wish.
Oh, no. I'm not here for that type of responsibility. That's why you have all the XRP graphics and shit up there with you. I'm just some guy wearing a Yoshi t-shirt stuck in a basement, man. You know, come on.
I almost forgot. T-shirt of the week.
Yeah, that's a great shirt.
I've bought back Kilburn again. Mainly because it's a really warm t-shirt. As t-shirts go, nice warm t-shirt.
Is it?
Kilburn repeatedly the number one artist when we were running the charts, which will return eventually one day. I know I've said that a million times, but time and stuff.
It's all about life, isn't it? Life gets in the way about the best laid plans of men and mice.
It is sucky. It is sucky.
Yes.
I think it's time for show and tell.
I was gonna see once again. Great minds, man.
My show and tell is unfortunately slightly unprepared and in a different room, so I think you can go first today.
While you're off getting it, or
no. I want to see what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It just
right.
I don't know. It seemed a little bit more prepared or something. I don't know.
I just grabbed something on the way down to the studio.
Perfect.
Next week it'll be like, here's a can opener. No. Okay. So
let's make. Should we make you big so you can show everyone big? There we go.
Wow.
Oh, that's a bit
big.
too. No,
I'm too big.
No. Let's
no.
Oh, that one.
No. Well,
it's
the same thing.
It's the same thing. We can. There you go.
Wow.
Cinema. I want cinema style.
I want a drum roll. Okay, cool. Hey, today for show and tell, I have.
Oh, no way.
Super Sentai. This one is Deijai Sentai Mega Ranger. Now, what this is, kids, is this is the original Power Rangers, which was filmed right in Japan. And this was the version where it doesn't have the stupid American, Saban, video parts that were filmed in America that totally mess up the storyline and everything.
Or just the really random bits that were just filmed in a high school.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is the real deal. And, of course, it's subtitled, but really cool. Some of these stories are actually really dark, amazingly enough. They weren't really kid-friendly, but this is the original stuff. There is tons of these. I think I have about 4 or 5 of them. This is a complete series of.
That is a verse, isn't it? Is it a verse? Oh no, it's a DVD multi-pack.
Yes, it is a DVD.
I was going to say it looked thick then. I thought it was a VHS for a second.
No, this is runtime is 15.3 hours on this.
Holy crap!
So there's a whole bunch of discs in this thing. But yeah, like I said, I've got 4 or 5 of them now, and there's so many of them. I don't want to be a completionist, and have to get all of them. I just get the ones that I hear are pretty fun. But yeah, I've been into this now for a few years, but they're super cool. So
wow,
yeah, that's my show.
How different is it to? I mean, obviously, there's none of the high school stuff, but
no, God, no. There's no Bulk. There's no Skull. There's none of that stuff. The characters are much more fleshed out. It's more of a drama, actually.
Okay.
It's not so funny and light entertaining. It's a bit more serious. Well, as serious as you can be when you're driving a Megazord, right? But yeah, it's still goofy. I mean, you got the costume characters, and you still got Rita and all that stuff, But yeah, it's a bit more dark. But highly recommend if you guys see these anywhere online, pick one up. There's a lot of fun, and of course the special effects are fantastic.
My only issue is I love a lot of World programming.
Yep.
But I'm terrible at being able to sit down and not fall asleep reading the subtitles. Once I start reading, reading anything, and I'm even the tiniest bit tired, I read a book, comic book, anything. I don't know why it just sends me to sleep.
It's like that for a lot of people. I don't know why that is. I know a lot of people read a book to fall asleep.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, because I watch a lot of this stuff. Like the Ultraman series and all that. And it's all subtitled. Kamen Rider, all those kind of games, or all those games, movies, all the same thing. Okay, I think I'm done being big now. Should I shrink back down? No, there we go.
There you go for now. I best go and get mine then. So
you should.
This is actually a bit of a pride and joy. There you go.
It's not the cat, folks. I hear the cat in the background. I just walk in with the cat and go, here.
So, move over there for a second. This is a cool looking thing, to be fair. Oh, I need to turn off my background as well. So, Everyone knows I'm a massive Final Fantasy fan.
Yes, you
It's
are.
a bit hard for me to not show that I am that. The one thing is Square Enix, as much as I love them to pieces, also incredibly expensive. Not just the games, their models, their collector's sets, they're all incredibly expensive. And I have sought after trying to get some of the original Final Fantasy VII collector sets for ages, and they're just insane prices. They're just crazy prices.
Yep.
So the moment that Final Fantasy Remake Rebirth have been announced, I was like, right, I'm not missing out on them. They're going to be quite expensive, but they're not going to be as expensive as they are 20 years later where you're trying to get the original sets.
True.
So I took the plunge. And I did get them. And as with all Final Fantasy collector sets, they all come with a specific big model.
Right.
So I am going to show you said specific big model if I can make myself the big one. There we go.
Know. There you go. Oh, Sephiroth.
How absolutely epic is this guy?
That is amazing, man.
It's huge. It's heavy as hell. It's
Cool.
good sword and the wing and the one-winged angel. If anyone knows about Sephiroth's history, he only has one wing because he's a one-winged angel.
Yep.
I'm like loving the gel fires at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like they really, and it's huge. I mean, like it's fucking big.
Yeah. That's
It's
amazing.
not something that you can just put on your table. As
Right.
it were. So yeah,
Wow.
this is a bit of a pride and joy moment because it is my first official collector's edition Final Fantasy model.
Very nice.
Which I'm very excited about. And you can't get them anymore. They're gone. Bye. See you later.
Yeah.
And now
Wow.
I'm scared. I'm going to knock that over and break the sword.
Yeah, please
That's
don't. Please
the
don't
only
knock it
thing
over.
with Final Fantasy models, right? I do have quite
Yep.
a few other ones, not collector's editions like this. But the swords are always like so fragile. So fragile, especially at the hilt. The amount of broken Final Fantasy swords that I have is depressing.
Oh no.
Absolutely depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my show and tell.
Fantastic.
Oh, I'm very happy with that.
I'll bet. Yeah, that's great.
And now you can go over there.
Yeah, tell me take a break.
I have more. I promise I won't Final Fantasy model you too often. But that's probably the best piece of my collection at the moment.
No, that's very nice.
Well,
so. Cool.
So that's my show and tell for the week.
That was a very good segment.
I thought so.
All right.
So now I need to get let's get us back.
Yes, there we go. That's how we should be. So we have like a half an hour left to go. Let's see as far as format, we still have what's for dinner and we have geek time. So that and music and we're sitting good.
The problem here is that show and tell is slowly also becoming geek time.
Well, what did they think? What did people think we were going to show them? Right? They know us, right? I mean, what are we going to?
That's a dangerous question to ask with Mish in the chat box.
Yeah, but you know what else are they expecting? You know, here's my lawnmower. You know, or here, come on, you guys. I mean, you know us, right? What are we going to show you? You know,
they probably thought we were going to like break out the tin whistle and be like, "Look, I'm a virtuoso tin whistle player."
I mean, look at this. I'm a, yeah. I don't know. I think there's still a few surprises we can throw at them. I've got some stuff here that's.
I've just thought of a couple of. I think I've shown a couple of these things before, but I have a few weird and wonderful instruments to bring out. Actually,
yeah, I have a couple instruments as well.
Got a couple of quite strange ones hidden.
Well, that would be good. Yeah.
So you know what with half the amount of time we have left, we have in music, and we also wanted to play some of the people in the chat box. So I thought I would start off with a back-to-back of people in the chat box.
That's a wonderful idea.
The two main people that are in here with us are Mish and Rekka.
Yep, that's how it looks.
So I think we'll play Rekka first because I can't wait. That was a tenuous link.
That was very nice. Yes.
I asked you this question last time, and you went for Night of the Swans, but I'm going to ask you to pick another Mish track now.
Oh man, you have to do that to me. See, my problem is I'm more familiar with his older stuff.
That's fine. You can do old stuff.
You know, I mean, there's the Mish classics. You know, Met Her in a Vape Shop is probably my fave.
It's been a while since I've played Vape Shop, to be fair.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll do that. We'll not wait with Wrecker. Hopefully, we can't wait for Driving Recklessly. Recklessly, it's so good.
I love that, man. That's genius.
You know what? You've got to do it now. Like, even if you don't really want to collab with DUI Wrecker, just like warble over the tune. Just get the tune out and just be like, and just call it Driving Recklessly, and we'll all be happy.
You know, I'm okay with the idea, but the thing is, I think Wrecker has to wear a mask in the video as well as Mish.
Well,
Don't you think?
But it's not Mish. It's DUI.
Oh, that's right. God, duh. No, not duh. Dewey. Yes.
Dewey. Very good, sir. Very good.
Thank you.
Very
well
good.
played. Well played.
Oh,
okay. Well, he has to wear masks for everyone.
On that high quality humor, I can't wait, Wrecker. I'd stop there. My mouth was getting dry.
Well, speaking for 2 hours, we'll do that. I get the thing. I know I told you before, it's so funny when we get done, right? And after staring at the screen for 2 hours, my eyes are going buggy and my knees are shot trying to walk up the stairs back up. It's not really fun after we sign off. It's like, oh.
My problem is the backs of my thighs fall asleep because I'm always sitting on the edge of my chair. I very rarely lean
you're
back.
cutting the nerves off there. Right.
So yeah, usually when I first stand up, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh.
Such an awkward feeling, something to believe in. Now the time has come, you threw it all away. I can see right through your lies and stare at me apart. I can see through your disguise. Oh, baby, I can't wait any longer. The longer I wait, the feeling is stronger.
This song always reminds me of a moderately famous song that I can't put my finger on, and it's aggravating me.
Yeah.
Since we're falling, I'll live another day.
For me, Wrecker really has this like classic '80s rock vibe.
Oh,
They
yeah,
sound like I know that's kind of their mission statement, I think, as well. Don't quote me on that, but there's so many bands they remind me of. I don't even really want to try.
Isn't their Facebook page literally Wrecker 80s heavy rock band?
Yes, heavy rock. Band.
Oh no, it's just heavy rock. No, 80s.
Right. It's one or the other, man.
Oh, baby, I can't wait any longer. The longer I wait,
I mean, if I was going to name bands this reminds me of, let's see, Skid Row, Rat. That's two. I've been waiting on you.
Oh, what a time to get.
Bless you, sir.
You're listening to Sneezy Radio. Oh, I said I was going to play Mish Happening straight away, didn't I? Best do that.
Yes, you did.
Oh dear, the sneeze threw me off there.
That's okay. You recovered well.
I don't think I have.
Just stopped smoking.
Started on the vaping.
It took a while for me to swap over, but I'm enjoying the new flavors. To gain info and start me off, I was frequently at this vape shop. I had been a few times, but now I'm going to
The math wrecker.
about this one time.
This might be might end up becoming like an anthem or something because they're trying to ban vaping in the UK.
Are they really?
They're banning all disposables, I think, next week.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow. There's going to be a riot or an uproar.
I don't know. I mean, I thought there was going to be more of an uproar because they put in a ban, so I think no one who's born after 1993 or something is allowed to buy cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
They're just not, so like, it's not even if you're over 18 or anything, it's like if you're born from now, you'll never be allowed to buy cigarettes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so I thought that was going to go a bit crazier.
Yeah, you think so.
But no. I guess people have just admitted that, okay, this shit's unhealthy, so we can't complain.
Right. Well, nowadays, nothing is
Don't eat too many peas, you'll get cancer.
Oh, you can go online. You can search anything. It's going to kill you. It's just the way it is. There's an old joke about that. You know, living's going to kill you.
She may have noticed my rise, so I walked out of the vape shop. Didn't look back, why didn't stop? I thought I was being followed. Could be the kicking that I am owed. About time I turned to see her as she smiled at me.
I want to know what kicking you. Why Mish? Why were you getting needed to get kicked in?
We met up in a vape shop. In a vape shop. She grabbed a hold of my big smoke. It really isn't that big. We met up in a vape shop. She moved in closer. I can now smell her flavour. We looked into each other's eyes. I can feel the sweat rise. We met up in a vape shop. We met up in a vape shop. Yeah, we met up in a vape shop. We met up in a vape shop.
Okay, now I'll unmute the mics properly.
Okay.
That's the end of that section.
Yes.
Those two tracks up. I've lost my mind. It's okay, Craig. We only have to fill 13 minutes, and then there's 12 minutes of music, so it's good.
Hell, yeah, we're fine. I mean, we still have geek time is 13 minutes easy.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
So I should probably ask you what's for dinner then.
Oh, nothing too amazing tonight. We're gonna do a ham slice. You know, you just slice a ham, you put it in the pan, warm it up, and some.
But just
what is that an American thing? What?
I presume so, because like when you say a slice of ham, I'm thinking like cooked ham that you put on a sandwich.
No. This is like an actual. Somebody took like an actual ham and like cut a big slice off of it.
Oh, so like as if it was like a big ham on the bone, but they've just took a bit of the meat.
And they cut exactly one big slice. You put it in a frying pan, warm it up, and then we're probably gonna do like au gratin potatoes, like in the microwave. You know,
in the microwave.
Okay. Oh yeah, you just warm them up. Yeah, it's a pretty. Yeah, we have to think a bit more easy when it's a show night, right? Because I pretty much get done right at dinner time, so we have to come up with something that's pretty fast. So, yeah, otherwise it'd be something a bit more substantial. I mean, now that I have the grill out, right, I can grill. You know, but yeah. So, how about you?
I really don't know, to be honest. I've been struggling this week because I've got my nice new lunchbox. I have to prepare some hot food for my dinner the next day and also eat myself. And I quite often, like, I'll be cooking my food for tomorrow and I'll pick a little bit at it. And so like I'm tasting it to see if it's seasoned correctly or whatever.
Yeah,
And by the time I finish that, I don't really want to eat. So I end up having like a sandwich or something, like literally a cheese sandwich or something. So I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. Usually on a Wednesday night, I'll have eaten before the show, and I'll be telling you, oh, I had I've got some leftover KFC in the other room to go out and eat. But as I said at the start of this show, belly.
Yeah, I know.
So trying to cut down a little bit on the old takeaway and fast foods.
Man, isn't cold KFC the best?
No, I reheated. Not cold for me, I'm afraid.
Oh, dude. Okay.
I will eat cold pizza, but I would rather have it reheated.
No, I would never do cold pizza in my life. People swear by it, but I gotta have pizza warmed up. But cold chicken, I'm all about.
No, see, like my old man will eat cold. Big thing in Birmingham, curries, Indian style curries. Well, now Brummy Indian style curries, should I say? And my dad used to freak me out. We'd order a curry and then he'd eat it cold first thing in the morning. And I can't think of anything worse than cold, aggressive Indian spices first thing in the morning. Let's wake up and let's just eat basically chili. Let's just eat a chili first thing. No, not for me.
No.
Most takeaway, I think, especially now that air fryers exist. Chucking a piece of KFC chicken in the air fryer for 5 minutes, crispy skin, happy days.
And
I don't know if it's got to be cheap ass crappy local takeaway pizza. You know, none of this Domino's or Pizza Hut shit. I'm talking like cheapo shit takeaway around the corner. But for some reason, when you microwave those pizzas, the cheese takes a different flavor. I don't know what it is, but it tastes different, and I really like it.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know if it's just English shit mozzarella that they put on. I don't know, but it tastes better. However, now I really want a pizza in KFC.
Well, I'm sorry.
So it's probably actually just going to be whatever is open.
Yeah, it is about what? About 11 o'clock for you?
When the show finishes, it's midnight. So
midnight. What the hell's open at midnight? Especially on a Wednesday.
Shit, cheap pizza places mostly.
Well, there you go, man.
I can't remember There's one thing that's that has recently become a 24-hour thing. I can't remember if it's either Burger King, McDonald's, or Taco Bell.
Okay.
Don't want any of those, but it might be one of those. I don't know. I don't know today. Sorry, it's a crap question for me today. All the other questions are being fine. What I'm having for dinner today, I'm gonna have to leave you all in mystery. But maybe who are these men of mystery? Well, we're leaving mysteries as to what I'm going. And I know you're all on the edge of your seats, wondering what is Tizz going to eat on his Wednesday. I can't go to sleep without knowing.
I know people are going to have insomnia now. We should have a song called "What Is This Food of Mystery?"
What is this food?
What is this food of mystery?
Yeah, I know everyone. I know we're going to do this show next week. Everyone's just going to go, "What did you have for dinner? I need to know."
Tizz lives in Scotland and eats KFC. Or sometimes a cheap pizza. He will be. Yeah, okay, we could change that up.
His stomach disagrees.
Yeah. Perfect. There you go. He thinks he likes it, but his stomach disagrees. Yeah, we can do something.
Remixed food theme tune now.
Yeah, I know. What next?
I think we'll play the two next tracks, and then we'll geek out and say goodbye and play the two last tracks. Does that sound good?
Cool. Sounds good.
What are the next two tracks, Craigie?
The next two tracks is "Choking the Goose" by Slow Cook Goose and "Miracle" by Hybrid Kid.
I'm sorry, I have to correct your grammar there. The next two tracks are, Craig.
What did I say?
The next two tracks is.
I said is? Well, don't be all Brit on me, man. I get perfect English. Oh, dude, the next two tracks are. Should I say it like "Choking the Goose" by Slow Cooked Goose and "Miracle" by Hybrid Kid.
You sounded exactly like a UK easy listening DJ there.
Ready to choke the goose?
Choke the goose.
I don't think I've heard this yet.
Yeah, this is pretty
Has
good.
he started choking the goose yet?
He has, without question.
Free devil.
Yep.
Go, man, go.
Oh, man, go.
These cats is indeed smoking. Yo. It's time we got funky, is it not? Oh yes, we get funky right about now.
It sounds like they're slightly drunk, but not drinking it. That's so slow.
Yeah, I know.
Good God, isn't it fun? I mean, ain't it funky now?
Yes,
Me,
but
thanks,
I
it's
very
funky
much
now.
hope that it didn't
Nice.
fail you.
I'm pretty sure I've had this conversation in the pub.
God,
I like those kind of reverse bass sounds.
Uh-huh.
That's cool. A bit of octave slap in there. The octave slap in the bound.
Oh, that, yeah.
I'm gonna finish it with it.
yo.
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 We will have about 5 minutes after this one.
Well, if we take turns, that's 2 minutes and 30 apiece.
Downtown Somerset on Waterloo. Took this long to figure out the lonely fool. Relief, sunrise. You take the slide, hanging out a miracle to see. Dripping on a metaphor to speak.
This would have gone quite well with that bluegrassy track earlier.
Yeah. Now that Just Alice track.
Long tired fellow sitting on the evening bus.
By the way, he's following the guitar picks with his voice.
Yeah.
Survey the sky with black sea eyes, hanging on a miracle to see. Dripping on a metaphor to speak. Hanging on a miracle to see. Dripping on a metaphor to speak. Rolling on to the lighthouse. Through the pouring rain. Let her rest all your eyes now. You're home again. America to see. Dripping on a metaphor, it's me. Hanging on America to see. Dripping on a metaphor,
I can put it on my hands, apparently.
it's me. Hanging on
Well, that's good.
America to see. Dripping on a metaphor, it's me. Hanging on America to see. Dripping on a metaphor, it's me.
Miracle Hybrid Kid, preceded by Slow Cooked Goose with Choking the Goose here on XRP Radio. It's the last few minutes of the Craig and Tizz show. This is the time where I have to keep an eye on the clock to make sure we finish on time. Whilst we geek out right at the end. Do you have what's the geek out of the day, Craig? What have you been geeking out on?
The geek out of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is today Nintendo revealed the Nintendo Direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is the next big Switch 2 game coming out in July, which is like the spiritual successor to Donkey Kong 64, which is like an open world exploration game with DK. And they had showed us a couple different things about it, but not a whole lot of detail. Today they went into detail, and
He's excited, folks. He can't even speak. You know what he sounded like that? You like fucking Crazy Frog, you know, the ring ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding 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 to detail.
Brain skip a whole right. So they started talking more about it today, which has a little bit of a Banjo-Kazooie vibe to it, of all things, actually, for those of you who remember. But if y'all get a chance, jump on YouTube sometime today and check out the Nintendo Direct of Donkey Kong Bonanza. But
that's probably what I'm going to be doing after this show.
Of course, I have it pre-ordered because I don't know any better. Comes out July 17th, I believe. So that'll be my second game for the Switch 2. Otherwise, I've been playing Mario Kart World every night. It's the last thing I do.
Is it that good?
It is that good. The multiplayer is incredible. 24 racers. Tracks are incredible.
Is it just complete mayhem?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're getting shot from behind by 20 other guys. You have no idea where the shells are coming from or the attack. We played it Father's Day. I went to my son's house and we all played it together. 4-player, live, and it was a blast, man. It's highly recommended if you guys have the means to get a Switch 2.
I love playing Mario Kart with Cat and the Kid. Apart from they're the worst people to play competitive games with, because I'm playing the game and I feel quite bad. I'm like, oh sorry, I hit you with a red shell. I meant to hit the guy next to you. Like them pair, they'll drive past and they go red shell hit, red shell hit.
That's dirty.
But I'll be in first. Like I'm a good racer. I play lots of racing games. I love racing games.
Yeah,
I know
me too.
And that's why Mario Kart is great, because it just evens the playing field completely. It's so hard just to always win at Mario Kart because there's always a blue shell coming your way.
I know.
Always a blue shell. It's impossible to just be the best at Mario Kart. I don't care what anyone says.
I will say this: I do kind of cheat a bit. They have the auto steering, right? So you can't fall off the edge. I have that enabled. Otherwise, you spend half your time falling off the edge of the track. But I've got that on turned on.
That's why I hate Rainbow Road. Too many edges to fall off.
Dude, I gotta tell you something right now. If you get a chance, you have to see the brand new Rainbow Road. It's a hidden track. You'd cry. It's like cinematic. It's beautiful.
I'm getting more and more tempted, but still.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, super fast. I know we have a couple minutes here quick, but for Geek Time, what's your favorite racing game? Or one of your favorites. I want to see if you and I are on the same page here.
I mean,
for me, Burnout. Okay. Any of the Burnouts.
Oh, no, Burnout. All the Burnouts are good because you get the good variety there. It's not just always a race. There's lots of different stuff to do. I do like that a lot. However, it's quite a difficult one for me, actually, that is. Because I would have instantly said Mario Kart, but it's less of a racer. It is like an arcade fun game rather than a racer.
Yes.
But Burnout is good for that reason. But I'd have to for a realistic racer, it's Project Gotham all the way. Forget everything else.
Really?
They have a recreation of the Nürburgring on it, and it is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
For all over best racer ever, Wipeout 3. Yep. Wipeout 3 all the way. It is literally grown up Mario Kart.
Okay.
It's, you've got the weapons on the tracks, quite a unique style of racing as well. So you've actually, in the newer Wipeouts, you almost fly. So you've got your left and right stick on the analog as you normally drive. Right. X is accelerate, whatever. But then, because you're like a little hover ship, you've got wing flaps as well. Right. So you can do sharp corners by raising your wing flaps whilst turning as well. So there's like a little extra bit of skill that is very satisfying when you get it right. And the weapons are a little bit more they're worked out a little bit more better. So there is a bit of like if you're a fantastic racer, you are going to do better rather than getting hit by a blue shell right at the line kind of thing. You know what I mean? Right. There's none of those absolutely devastate your whole life weapons on there. It's like cannons, machine guns.
Right. Yeah.
You do have boosts and shields and stuff like that. So it's mines and stuff like that. But you can't because there's so many times where I play Mario Kart with them pair and I am in first place for 3 laps. And then in the last lap, the last lap of Mario Kart is just chaos every time, all the time. And I'm halfway through the last lap, and then it's red shell.
Yep. That's how it works.
So man. Quick one for my nerdy, even though I've got like seconds. I've been playing Bloons Tower Defense 6 on my mobile phone with them. Cool. It's literally just a tower game with monkeys that pop balloons. And unlike all the other tower games that go a little bit too crazy in trying to get like the enemies to level up and whatever, they're literally balloons, different colored balloons. So all of the effort's been put into like how the towers level up. Well, they're monkeys, but the towers level up, and you've got a super monkey that can have laser eyes and shit like that. It's great fun. Definitely. If you want a kind of passive game to play with friends, great game. It is a great game. Great. It's time for us to say goodbye, though, Craig.
It is. It's been fun. It was a great, very interesting conversation today. It was that was Tizz's pick on the topic. He did a wonderful job. I was kind of stumped this week for what to come up with, but nicely done, sir.
And on that note, please, if any of you have any topics or ideas for the show, please do let us know. You've all been far too happy just letting us get on with it, but we'd love you to get involved. And if any of you want to join us in the show live, even if it's not for the full 2 hours, you just want to come on, say your piece and fuck off, we'll allow it.
Right on.
We'll allow it. But the only thing that you will have to do is show and tell. And you might have to tell us what's for dinner as well. But definitely, we're interested in having people on. Hit us up on Facebook. I am on the / of all the social networks, Tizz XRP. And you can get us on XRP Radio everywhere as well.
Yep.
But on the note, from me, it's goodbye. It's been a pleasure to entertain you all for the evening. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and rest of your week till Saturday, because of course you're all coming back for the tag show, which will be on this Saturday. Sorry it wasn't on last Saturday. Me and Catherine have had to deal with solicitors and stuff for all this visa shit. So that sucks. However, I'm going to hand over to Craig, who's going to say goodbye and tell us what our last tracks are.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. It was a wonderful show. Thank you to all who were in the chat box. Much appreciated. We will see you next Wednesday, same time. And the last 2 tracks are The Shaman by Cracks in the Shell and One Shot Deal by Rhino Proof. See you later.
See you later, everybody.
Talk to me, Bones. I'm the medicine man.
Oh, shit, I remember this. Do you know what this really randomly reminds me of? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
Do, 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 do.
Sort of. Yeah.
September morning, without even a warning.
I don't know why it reminds me.
Yeah, it doesn't really go like that. But I get the groove. Yeah.
I think it's just the general kind of tones, especially that
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
that bass. Well, another great show under our belts.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about next Wednesday, but we got a week to figure it out.
Like, if we're ever really that stumped, I am 90% sure we could go to ChatGPT and go, give us a load of decent topics for a multi-base radio.
You know, you're not wrong.
I wouldn't want to just take them note for note and that, but it would blatantly give us enough ideas to come up with our own.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Oh.
But we haven't been completely stumped yet, so
nope. We can always just make what's for dinner like a half an hour segment. An hour.
I would like to try and see if we can kind of eke out, because we tend to do a lot of the main topical at the start and then just finish off with all the little bits.
We do.
And it would be good. I think it would be good for retention for the music-y types that aren't so gaming to keep coming back. So do one bit and then show and tell, and one bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just a thought to try it out anyway.
No, I like it.
And I think doing the few back-to-backs in the end works good.
Yes.
Gives us a couple of extra minutes of time as well, because it's quite surprising how long the kind of intro and outro just saying this track is that track was at the end, and then getting back into the rhythm.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good balance of talking plus music, I think.
Just like
months went by, their wishes came true. A holiday they needed, so away they flew.
Tell you what though, this show, the only show that I ever did that I had to look at the clock quite so much was the chart show.
Oh yeah.
Something inviting he could smell and see. So when the boys
there's that much music in the tag show, it's just impossible to try and time it.
Right.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
But the amount of times where there'd be 7-8 minute long prog tracks because my dad's voted for shit in the jar.
He does like this prog.
And the moral of the story is sad but true. Let the dog eat the bones before the bones eat you.
Of course. Nice little simple riff that is.
Yeah. Not to mention, what a fantastic name for a band. Yeah, we're Rhino Proof. You throw a rhino at us, it won't even bother us. Well, if you're Elephant Proof. So.
They got a little write-up in Metal Temple magazine. These did.
Oh, really?
Fair play.
I cannot think what become of those. I have no.
I thought Rhino Proof meant something, but I think I'm thinking about something else.
I have not a clue, sir.
I just went for a quick search, and the first thing that popped up was that Metal Temple.
Sometimes I will go to Apple Music just to see if these people have new music out or newer stuff that we don't have, you know. Just out of curiosity.
It's all pleasant, but it's real. This is only one shot deal.
Ooh, lovely bit of organ there.
Yep.
For all of those that have been watching us on the visual stream, it's been a pleasure to entertain you all for the evening. We're going to leave you in the capable hands of our wonderful theme tune. See you later.
Bye-bye.
So here we are again. Thanks for stopping by to listen to the good man and that old annoying guy. Do you ever wonder? Do you wanna see who are these men of mystery? Tizz lives in Scotland and runs XRP, a broadcasting legend. I'm sure you'll agree. Lives in a studio in the USA, working on music most every day. They come together at this time each week, a wondrous pairing of these two great geeks. So stop in the chat box and say hello, and listen in wonder to the great